Senator Hirono.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the panel, you all agreed that there is a causal relationship between the growth in cryptocurrencies helping to drive the increase in ransomware attacks. I think that you generally agreed, yes. We're not quite sure what to do about it. But aside from things like considering the U.S. banning cryptocurrencies, what about should we make ransomware payments illegal? Anybody want to answer that?
Senator, thank you for the question. It's our opinion that banning ransomware payments is not the road to go down, and there's really a prime reason for that. Right now, what was shared in the opening remarks is that ransomware has a single extortion model. Essentially, we would hold your data ransom until you pay for that data. Well, in the very recent past, actors have moved to a double extortion model. First, they exfil data and threaten to leak it on a Tor site for sensitive information. The second prong of the extortion is the ransom for the encrypted data. It would be our opinion that if we ban ransom payments, now you're putting U.S. companies in a position to face yet another extortion, which is being blackmailed for paying the ransom and not sharing that with authorities. And so it's a really complicated conversation, but it's our position that banning ransom payments is not the road to go down.
If I could add, ma'am, as well,
yes,
reporting is one of our biggest challenges related to this.
I'm sorry, what is?
Reporting, as was
yes.
stated by several of my colleagues, banning the payments would further push any reporting to law enforcement into obscurity and make it virtually impossible for us to have that relationship.
So this is quite the conundrum for all of us. And I note that we're going to need a workforce that is very attuned to the need for to have an understanding of cybersecurity issues and STEM backgrounds. And you noted, I think it's Mr. Downing, that we need a whole of government response. That means that we should be across departments. Does that include the Department of Education? Because I note that Mr. Goldstein said that we need to really have curriculum within our elementary schools that focuses on STEM and that provides an understanding of cybersecurity. So is the Department of Education involved in this whole of government approach that you all talked about?
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. So CISA works very closely with our colleagues at Education, as well as at the National Science Foundation and other agencies to make sure that all partners in government with a role in promoting a curriculum that meets the challenges of today and tomorrow are on board. And so this is really a whole of government effort where our goal is to make sure that those individuals in school today are prepared to take on the jobs that will need them to face this challenge going forward.
So is this kind of curriculum already in our elementary public schools?
That's correct in some cases. Certainly it is not ubiquitous across the country yet, but this is part of course, a broad focus on STEM education. Part of ensuring that children in school in this country are focusing on STEM education is the cybersecurity aspect of that challenge. And so making sure that we are encouraging both STEM as a basic focus and then cybersecurity as an aspect thereof will be critical going forward.
I actually would like to see some an active curriculum in our elementary schools that focuses on STEM. What about engaging with our allies? Because it's not just the U.S. government, whole of government, but we really need to engage with our allies in how to prevent these kinds of crimes from occurring. So how are we doing on that score?
Sure. I'll offer a first thought and then I'll hand it off to my colleagues. From our perspective at CISA, we work very closely with international computer emergency response teams, or CERTs, who are the network defenders globally to protect their country's private and public networks. And we share information with them continuously on new ransomware threats that we can then share to help protect businesses and government networks in our country.
Go ahead.
If I may, there are a number, you're exactly right that international collaboration is critical to what we do. And there are a number of factors that are in play here. We strongly support, for example, the Convention on Cybercrime to encourage appropriate laws around the world. And that's been building over the years. Partnerships with foreign law enforcement agencies are critical. The Secret Service and the FBI have personnel stationed in foreign countries, and we work extremely well with international agencies like Europol with some very effective results. And thirdly, for the Department of Justice, we have a program called the ICHIPS, the International Computer Hacking and Intellectual Property Coordinators, stationed in various countries. We find that having prosecutors in foreign countries also helps to build those relationships, which have proven to be so effective when we've done takedowns like the NetWalker and Emotet ones that I mentioned earlier. It's that international collaboration that is key to many of the successes that we've had.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.